In the far reaches of the Andromeda Galaxy, where starlight dances through swirling nebulae and legends come alive, a planet teeters on the brink of a fate it cannot escape alone. This is where our journey begins. In the Andromeda Galaxy, amidst a spectacular array of stars and swirling nebulas, lies the planet NX-9. A rugged jewel suspended in twilight, its towering mountains, sprawling forests, and endless oceans shimmer under an ethereal, perpetual glow. But beauty does not always mean peace. At the heart of this extraordinary world resides a creature of legend, the Zephyr. The Zephyr embodies primal power and elegance, a colossal beast adorned with scales that glisten like liquid metal under the alien sky. Its eyes, icy blue flames with depths that could pierce a soul, hold an aura that inspires both awe and fear. Even the most hardened explorers have faltered under its gaze. For centuries, the Zephyr has been NX-9's stalwart guardian, a living shield warding off invaders who dared covet the planet's rich resources. Yet now, under the silvery light of NX-9's twin moons, the once mighty Zephyr lies weakened in its cavernous lair. Its deafening roars, which had once sent tremors rippling through the land, have dwindled to labored breaths and faint, pained whimpers. The great beast is dying, and with it, the planet itself begins to suffer. Dr. Mira Hayes, a renowned xenobiologist from Earth, stands at the mouth of the Zephyr's cave, her heart heavy with both awe and sorrow. She has dedicated her life to studying the galaxy's most elusive creatures, and none has captivated her more than the Zephyr. Accompanying her is a team of specialists aboard her research vessel, the Starlight Explorer. The crew includes Dr. Alan Pierce, an alien physiology expert, Lena Veen, a linguist and archaeologist, and Captain Elias Ford, a seasoned pilot and protector. They've navigated through asteroid fields and evaded galactic predators to reach NX-9, but now their true challenge begins. Inside the cave, a vast cathedral of stone with ancient carvings and stalactites hanging like the teeth of some sleeping giant, the air is thick with history and reverence. As Dr. Hayes cautiously approaches the ailing Zephyr, the creature's eyes flicker open. Their gaze locks for an instant, and Mira feels the weight of something ancient and unspoken, an understanding that transcends words, a plea for help. "We need to act fast," Mira says, steadying her voice despite the pressure. "The Zephyr's life force is ebbing away. We need to find out why." Dr. Pierce is already preparing his scanning tools. "I've never seen anything like this," he murmurs, his fascination mixed with deep concern. "It's as if the creature's essence is being drained away." Nearby, Lena Veen examines the carvings. "Mira," she calls, urgency lining her voice, "these symbols, they tell a story." Together, they decipher the ancient inscriptions, the origin of the Zephyr, its sacred bond with NX-9, and a prophecy of a time of peril when its strength would wane. The carvings reveal a connection, a symbiotic link between the planet and its guardian, now in mortal danger of being severed. Lena points to the depiction of a glowing crystal, the legendary heart of NX-9, which holds the power to restore balance. "The Zephyr and the planet are linked," Lena explains, tracing the story with her fingertips. "If one dies, so does the other. The heart of NX-9 is our only hope, hidden deep within the planet." Captain Ford, ever vigilant, joins the conversation. "So, how do we even start searching for something like that?" he asks, his gaze scanning the cave's entrance. Mira takes a breath, determination hardening her resolve. "We gather data first," she declares. "We must understand this bond to find out how it's breaking. Only then can we plan our expedition to recover the heart." As the team works, the Zephyr watches them, its eyes holding a glimmer of hope. For centuries, it had protected NX-9. Now, Dr. Mira Hayes and her team must return the favor. Time is running out, but failure is not an option. The fate of the planet, and perhaps more, hangs in the balance. The journey to save NX-9 had begun, but the path ahead was treacherous and unforgiving. In the heart of this dying world, the team would soon discover that every step brought them closer to danger and destiny. Their path was fraught with peril, from the unstable caverns that threatened to collapse at any moment to the aggressive alien fauna that had adapted to the harsh interior of NX-9. The team had to be ready for anything. Captain Elias Ford, seasoned and unyielding, took charge of planning their expedition, his voice steady and authoritative as he addressed the team. "We need to be ready for anything," he commanded. "Enough supplies for a 2-day journey, advanced mapping equipment, and defensive gear in case we run into hostile creatures." With every preparation meticulously made, the team gathered their supplies. Excitement and trepidation warred within Dr. Mira Hayes. The heart of NX-9 was their last hope, but the path to it was perilous. As they finalized their preparations, the Zephyr watched them with a solemn, knowing gaze. It seemed to understand the gravity of their mission and placed its fragile hope in these determined humans. The descent into the planet's core began with a series of narrow tunnels that twisted deep underground. The air thickened, growing warmer and humid, while the light from their torches cast eerie, shifting shadows on the cavern walls. Each step deeper unveiled more signs of the ancient civilization that had once thrived here: ruined structures, forgotten artifacts, and intricate carvings that guided their way. Yet, each step also brought new challenges. Unstable ground and sudden cave-ins tested their resolve. Strange, bioluminescent creatures pulsed in the darkness, some curious, others aggressive, forcing them to fend off predators that saw them as intruders. Yet the team pressed on, driven by the knowledge that the fate of the Zephyr and NX-9 depended on their success. After days of grueling travel, they finally reached a vast underground chamber, an awe-inspiring cathedral of stone and light. The air was charged with an energy that hummed through their bones, and at the center of the chamber stood the heart of NX-9, a massive crystal pulsating with radiant, ethereal light. Dr. Hayes approached the crystal, her heart pounding with a mix of awe and relief. "We found it," she whispered, voice trembling with triumph and hope. The crystal's energy resonated with the same frequency as the Zephyr's life force, confirming that this was indeed the key to saving the creature and the planet. Carefully, Dr. Hayes extracted a fragment of the heart of NX-9, holding in her hands the power to restore the balance that had been lost. Their mission was only half complete. The way back to the surface would be no less perilous, but the knowledge that they carried the heart gave them renewed strength. Navigating the treacherous tunnels was a test of will and endurance. The ground trembled with every step, and the threat of cave-ins loomed large. Yet, determination burned bright in each of them, propelling them forward. Emerging from the depths, dust-covered and exhausted, they were greeted by the sight of the Zephyr, still weakened but alive. Dr. Hayes approached the great beast with the crystal fragment, their last hope. The Zephyr's eyes, once dull, locked onto the glowing shard. A flicker of vitality, faint but undeniable, lit within its gaze. With the utmost care, Dr. Hayes initiated the transfer of the crystal's energy. The transformation was nothing short of miraculous. The Zephyr's metallic scales regained their iridescent sheen, and its eyes burned with renewed vigor. Weak roars grew into thunderous calls that echoed through the caverns, a powerful reminder of the creature's indomitable spirit. The Zephyr rose to its full height, towering over them, a symbol of resilience and strength. The bond between the creature and NX-9 was being restored, and with it, hope flourished once more. The planet had a chance to heal, but their journey had shown them that even legends need allies, and the fate of entire worlds could hinge on the courage of a few. What began as a mission of survival had transformed into a legacy of hope. The revival of the Zephyr marked only the beginning, a spark that would ignite a movement of change across the galaxy. The transformation of the Zephyr was nothing short of miraculous. As the energy from the heart of NX-9 coursed through its colossal form, the creature's vitality returned with a force that left Dr. Mira Hayes and her team humbled and awestruck. The Zephyr rose tall, its scales shimmering like polished silver beneath the twin moons of NX-9. Once feeble roars now thundered through the valleys, a powerful declaration of its renewed strength. News of the Zephyr's revival spread rapidly across the galaxy. NX-9, once a forgotten and exploited world, became a symbol of resilience and newfound hope. The planet's long-oppressed inhabitants emerged from hiding, inspired by the return of their ancient guardian. The Zephyr's recovery ignited a unity and purpose among NX-9's diverse population, a collective spirit that had long been dormant. Yet, Dr. Hayes and her team knew their mission was far from over. The bond between the Zephyr and the planet had been restored, but NX-9's ecosystem remained fragile. Over the following weeks, they collaborated with local leaders, scientists, and environmentalists to develop a comprehensive plan for the planet's recovery. The effort was immense, reintroducing native flora and fauna, employing sustainable resource management, and implementing advanced monitoring technology to ensure the balance was maintained. Interstellar mining corporations, once driven by greed, now faced immense pressure from the galactic community. With the revelation of the Zephyr's crucial role in maintaining NX-9's ecosystem, they had no choice but to comply. Reclamation projects repaired the scars of exploitation, and a new era of environmental stewardship began to take shape. During this time, Dr. Hayes formed a profound bond with the Zephyr. The creature, once feared throughout the galaxy, revealed a gentleness and intelligence that defied its fearsome reputation. It seemed to understand the efforts being made to heal its world and often guided the team to areas most in need of restoration. The Zephyr became a beacon of hope, its presence inspiring all those who toiled alongside it. One evening, as the team gathered near the Zephyr's cave to review their progress, Captain Elias Ford broke the silence. "We've come a long way," he said, his voice firm yet hopeful. "But there's still much to do. The Zephyr's recovery is only the beginning. We need to ensure that NX-9 thrives for generations to come." Dr. Alan Pierce, ever the meticulous scientist, nodded in agreement. "The data shows significant improvement, but we must stay vigilant. The bond between the Zephyr and the planet is delicate. It's our duty to protect it." Lena Veen, their linguist and archaeologist, added thoughtfully, "The ancient civilization understood this bond. They lived in harmony with the Zephyr, and we have much to learn from their wisdom. By combining their practices with our technology, we can create a sustainable future for NX-9. Their dedication paid off. Rivers ran clear once more, lush forests reclaimed the land, and the air buzzed with the sounds of thriving wildlife. The inhabitants of NX-9, inspired by the revival of their guardian, took pride in their role as stewards of their world. They worked alongside the team, eager to contribute to the planet's healing. Dr. Hayes often reflected on the journey that had brought them here, the trials they had faced, the unbreakable bonds they had formed, and the awe-inspiring connection they now shared with the Zephyr. One day, as she stood on a hillside overlooking a verdant landscape, the Zephyr approached her. Its eyes, once filled with pain, now radiated a serene and gentle light. Lowering its massive head, the creature seemed to silently acknowledge their shared journey, a gesture of mutual respect and understanding. In the months that followed, NX-9 became a beacon of hope and renewal across the galaxy. The story of the Zephyr and its guardians inspired countless worlds to reassess their own practices, fostering a movement towards sustainability and harmony. Dr. Hayes and her team traveled to share their experiences, spreading the lessons learned from NX-9 far and wide. A new era of interstellar cooperation began, built on the foundations of respect and unity. Dr. Mira Hayes looked out over the rejuvenated landscape, her heart swelling with gratitude. The Zephyr, once the most feared creature in the galaxy, now stood as a testament to the power of compassion and alliance. No longer a solitary guardian, it had gained allies and friends who would protect the balance of NX-9 for generations to come. The planet and its guardian thrived once more, a radiant beacon of hope in the vast universe.